vakulukumba loko hi kote ku kuma nkarhi namuntlha hi ta hlangana haleno xikongomelo ku ri timhaka ta ku hi ta burisana hi tsundzuxana hi akana hi hlayisana emoyeni ya hina leswi tanihi mufambisi wa ntirho va nga swi vula va ku swi kahle leswaku mimoya ya hina yi va kahle emimiri ya hina na yona yi va kahle leswi hi pfunaku hi nga tshuki va vanhu lavo ka ma nga helelangi wanuna i nhloko ya muti wanuna i mufambisi wanuna i murhangeri hambi ku ri eka community leyi a nga ka yona se leswi lava munhu la a nga helela namuntlha hi lava ku ya vulavula hi healthy romantic relationship loko hi vulavula hi romantic health or hi healthy romantic relationship hi lava ku ya languta ti-challenges leti ti endlaka leswaku ti-relationship ta hina minkarhi yin'wani mi kuma ku a ti healthy you know a human being is a social being leswi vula ku relationship ya hi boha ku hi va hi ri na yona swi nga khataleki ku hi ya makwerhu hi ya makhelwani hi ya mutirhikulobye we are the social beings kambe ku na mhaka yin'we leyi yi nga vuya yi fika emiehleketweni ya mina ku swi nga va kahle ku hi bula hi yona endzhaku ka loko the first time hi ya bula hi mhaka ya ku let's clean our houses namuntlha ni lava leswaku hi ya languta how to control our anger as men it is true that we have anger and anger is something that we can call it inevitable. You cannot avoid anger because this is part of life. There are so many books which were written about how to become successfully, but I don't remember a book which teaches us how to behave when we are angry. And this is an error because I think those writers of literatures, they forgot to tell us how to behave when we are not happy about something. I have a quote that I've just highlighted in my heart to say, when your heart is bitter, do not trust your mouth. Let me repeat. When your heart is bitter, don't trust your mouth. Because anything that happens during that time, you are going to say something that even yourself you are not going to be proud of the next moment. So the question that we have today are so many and we are going to answer them together. The question that I had for the first time to say how to control an anger was a question that I put up as a topic. But the first question I want us to answer today together is, what is an anger? Remember, an anger is a defense mechanism that is secreted from the hormones in your body. So there are 4 hormones that are released when you are angry. The adrenaline, the testosterone, the estrogen, and the cortisol. Those are the hormones that are released when you are angry. That's why when you see some people when they are angry, bangwan ba juluka, bangwan ba fainta, bangwan ba hisa na tiyindlu. Imagine 4 hormones at a go to huma in karwalo, and of course to huma with a high speed that you cannot control by yourself. And the second question that we need to underline this afternoon: what mainly causes anger to people? Why are we having angers? Majority of the time, anger becomes a byproduct of fear. You know, when you have fear of something, in most cases, and the fear of the unknowns. And remember, a fear is a false evidence that appears to be real. So you believe that what you fear is real, is going to happen the way you think is going to be. And from that moment, you begin to release a defense mechanism, which is an anger now. So the 4 hormones comes together to come and be on the front line. And remember, when a person is angry, there is something that you lose. You lose what we call it a rationale. What is a rationale? It's an ability to think and to respond in a sober state of mind. So the moment you are angry, you are as good as a person who is mad at a time, because now your rationale is now out of line. And that moment when your rationale is out of line, that's when now you do the unavoidable, undescribable, something that you are not going to be proud of in the next day. And what brings this fear? Remember, we said fear is a false evidence. But what brings that fear into a play so that we become angry because we are fear? Remember, a fear also is a byproduct of shame. You know, when I'm ashamed of something, embarrassment, you know, denial, stereotypes, being biased, or the threats that I'm confronted with. At that moment, I start to have fear to say, what if this person now see my weaknesses? As if we were not supposed to have weaknesses. Remember, we don't have what we call it perfect. The word perfect does not exist in human life. The reason why we are living good is because our weaknesses and our strength are always coming up and down. So our level of imperfection is the one that we need in life. The reason why you met your wife is not because she's perfect, but you measured your imperfection and her perfection, and you said, no, I think we are on the same level. So I can tolerate this, she can tolerate you as you are. Not because you are perfect, but your level of imperfection with what she has. It is what we need to find out this morning. And most of the time when a person finds himself in such a dilemma or cul-de-sac, fear checks in. And what happened when a person is now angry? Remember now, we said fear brings anger. But what happens now? What are the actions that causes that anger? What happens? The rationale that we spoke about is now being thrown out of the window. And from that moment, you start to make decisions that are not good to so many people. And as a result of that, that's where a violence checks in. So a violence as well is an offspring of anger. Remember, some people, when they are angry, some they become violent, some they isolate with other people, they withdraw. And some they faint, as I've already indicated, and many more other things that we are going to talk about today. But how do we deal with our fears? Because remember, we say fear can come in and try to interrupt our program as people as we live. Remember, this is the false evidence that appears to be real. So this cannot be treated as a fact or a gospel truth. So we can successfully tackle or deal with fear by addressing it in an honest manner. You know, the first point of addressing anything is to accept that this thing is beyond my control. So the moment you try to be a superstar, that's where you become a victim of fear for a very long time, because you want to show people that you can do it. Unfortunately, you know you can lie to people, but you can't lie to yourself. There's one person that you cannot lie to. It's yourself. So all the time when you want to deal with your fears, the first line of reference is to accept that there is something that I cannot do by myself. And one more other thing, when you are in a fear, silence at times, it's a good remedy to start with, because the moment you are silent, you are giving yourself a chance to find a better way of dealing with your issues, maybe in the next round, in the next moment. Even going to sleep is good. Walking away is also good, because the moment you walk away, you begin to think better than you did. Remember, if I'm angry now, I can take anything or any object and throw to a person. But if I can walk from this distance to that distance, what is going to happen, my blood level boils down. And now I can come in and maybe I will decide to say, let's talk about what you said. What exactly were you saying? This thing did not sit well with me. And as a result of that, I feel we need to address it amicably as people. Why are we talking about this thing, gentlemen? Remember, women are here. We coexist here. So we have to find a way. We cannot avoid these people. We have to find a way to deal with them. We have to find a way to coexist with them. Unfortunately, there are a majority in numbers. And there is one thing that I have discovered with women. Today we have got a Thursday which now has been hijacked as a Sheila's Day. You know what happened? They have found their plight and they came together like we did today. Speak about what is wrong in their relationships, in their social lives, until they even find something which is a weakness to us as men. And that weapon is the very same weapon that they are using when they come back from our homes. Remember, they discovered that a man, you can find him and take everything here. He will forgive you. But the moment you tap into his respect, a man cannot forgive you for any other reasons. That's why when women want to take us down, they just say some words which are disrespectful. To say, you last 2 minutes in bed, you can't do it better than this man. Your salary is not taking good care of us. You can't afford to take us to this Dubai and this places and this place. They know what they are touching. So I think it is a safe space for us as women, as men, to go and find the psyche of the women as well, so that we know how to coexist with these people. Because these people are now 1 step or 2 steps ahead of us. And we need to find a way to deal with this, because majority of the violence that we see is because a woman has disrespected you and you don't know how to deal with such a disrespect, because this is one thing that a man treasures more than any other thing in life. Majority of the time, we defend ourselves because we think we are right. We think we are superior to other people, or we think the other gender are less important to us. So sometimes it's because of our stereotypes, the way we behave towards the other genders. And those are the people that, as I've already said previously, we need to find a way to coexist with them. They are not going anywhere. They are there to stay. And remember, we cannot paintbrush all of them in one brush. Some are blue, some are green. And because you met someone green, you cannot say all women are green. That will be a very ignorant statement, and you are not ready to change. At some point, you know, we have people that we come across as colleagues, as partners, as family members, as relatives. We need to find a way to deal with those people. Remember, gentlemen, one of our roles that we need to play as family men is to protect the woman that you invited into your life. You are not protecting her because she did right, but you invited her into your life. And there are some people who are not related to her, who happens to be related to, who can come and say things that you are not happy about, even if you can see that what she did might be wrong, but find a perfect space, a right time, a right tone to iron things out. This is very, very important. The first person to protect is your wife. You know, there is an error that we do as men, you know, and as women they are doing, but let's talk about us today. We've got a tendency of giving a lot of love to our children. That is an error. Maybe today she's still a child or he's still a child, but it will come 20 years old, he will come say, Daddy, I'm getting married. So the person that will be stuck with, who is that? It's your wife. So the person whom you neglected, whom you cut ties for a very long time, and you are committed to some other things. So that's why we have to make sure that you keep on check. Are you still okay, honey? Are you still okay, mommy? What is it that I'm not doing right? Because this is the person that is going to stuck with you for the rest of your life. Till death do us part. You have never have any covenant with any child that you have in that room. but you have a covenant with the wife that you invited into your life. So you must always make sure that you don't treat those people as others. She is part of your life as we go along. That's why we have to find an amicable way of dealing with that. So those are the things that we need to check all the time. So one more other thing that I want us to answer today is how to deal with anger when we are confronted with one. There is no standard rule which is stipulated to deal with anger. The standard and acceptable way is always being calm. Being calm does not mean you forgot. Being calm does not mean you don't care about what is happening, but you are trying to process things in the right way, in the right channels, and remain silent before you respond to anything that is directed your way. Words are not made for communication. Words are there to create. Everything that we see here is created by words. We are the product of words as well here. My father told my mother that I love you. Those were the words. And here I am today because of what they've said, because they've agreed on something. So words are very important. Whatever you say to someone else, you have created something. So you must be very careful what you utter to the next person, because whatever you have said, you might have find it funny, maybe creative, or maybe you thought, I was just saying it by the way. But one person will say, maybe after 3 years, to say, do you remember what you have just said to me? That's why today you see me behaving the way I behave, because on the specific day, you planted something in me by what you have just said. Be mindful of what you say and how to act when confronted with situation. Some decision can negatively affect your whole life, but sober decision can save us from regrets. We are unique, remember? So in our thinking, we must always be unique, because we deal with issues the different way. And what is the root cause of anger? Remember, the root cause of anger is because of the conflict, which is the clash of ideas between individuals. And it is very important to understand that conflicts are not always bad. Conflicts are there to identify certain areas where we might have overlooked, certain areas where we are passively taking good care of. So conflicts are there to give us a new way, to give us an opportunity to reflect on the other side. Because remember, we think that when the conflict comes in, the best thing that to do is to be defensive, become violent, become aggressive. And those are the elements that are there, because some other people are very shameful to say sorry. Remember, when you say sorry, it's not because you are wrong, but you are trying to detach yourself with a conversation which is not fruitful at that particular time. So sometimes we are very, we are very big in saying sorry. There are so many marriages, relationships, which died, and people died in the process. And the children today, as I speak, they are suffering because of one simple word: I am sorry. If someone should have gone down to say, I am sorry, parents today will be still together. That parent would not have committed suicide. That parent would not be a single mother today, because somebody lacked just a one word to say, I am sorry. And we are done. And be sorry. And being sorry does not mean what you say. Your action must be the one that say, I am sorry. So those are the things that we need to take account at all the time. Remember, violence is the symptom of a person who suffered a great deal of pain, rejection, isolation, and unresolved conflict. In most cases, when you see a violent person, if you can check, there are underlying factors that causes that. It's either the person has been rejected as a child, was rejected by the wife, was rejected in the community. So that thing creates a pain, a nest of pain in that particular person. And that's why sometimes we have men today who are going to invite women into their lives. And that person has pain. that person has a history of being rejected elsewhere. So every time there is something that goes wrong, it triggers that previous pain that we have. To say, I once been rejected, maybe this lady want to leave me. That's why you see people taking guns and say, you can't leave me. We rather die together with the kids. Why? Because of the underlying things. So violence is one of the things that causes such. And because some people were rejected, some people were isolated, and some people were not treated well as they grow up or in the communities that they find themselves into. And this brings us to the concluding matter of a gender-based violence that we are encountering as a society today. Like I said, women are there to coexist with us. So we cannot deal with this as you and them or them and us. That's where the problem starts. If they are them and us, so then we become opponents. And this is exactly what we need to address as men. Remember, we are the ones who are mostly found at wrong. Yes, there are philosophies which says men are being abused as well and all other things. Those are the facts that we cannot deny and run away from them. However, in the majority of the cases that are reported and that are seen or are witnessed in our communities, we see a weak vessel being attacked by a strong vessel who happens to be a masculine. So I chose to describe a gender-based violence as a brutal form of abuse. One is inflicting to the other person, which is informed by the biasness towards the perpetrators. You know, the perpetrators at some point, they have got a specific idea about a particular gender. Some people are being attacked because of what they did, what other people did. So this can also be seen as the interruption of someone's peace because the perpetrator holds a particular view about a certain gender, or a perpetrator see the other gender as weak or vulnerable to them. And those are the things that we need to take into account. And what causes this gender violence in most of the cases? The one thing that causes gender-based violence is intolerance. We don't tolerate one another. Number two, the expectations that we have towards the next person. If the person does not deliver according to my expectation, I become frustrated. I feel deceived, you know, to say, yo, I've done all these things for you and this is how you thank me. And all those expectations that we had to say, I'm doing this in expectation of this. Sometimes because of the disappointment that we encounter, that can trigger the gender-based violence. There are things that women can do which you never expected, and you are disappointed. And as a result of that, then you retrieve the 4 hormones that we spoke about, which triggers anger. So those are the top list that we are finding in all the times when we talk about these things. And when there is no one who accepts that we are all imperfect, we are not immune to wrongdoings to other people, that's where violation comes again. Remember, gentlemen, when somebody wronged me, that does not make me a right person. She might be wrong or he might be wrong, but still, that does not excuse me from my wrongdoings as well. Because some people, when you are wrong to them, they even go to God to say, you know, yeah, as if mina and so what makes me to think that what I say, it must happen to the next person? And those are the things that we need to take into account. And how to deal with the violence of gender all the time. Number one, let's have tolerance. We need to tolerate one another. Number two, expectations. We need to always be mindful that people have their flaws and sometimes they might not give us what we expected. And number three, disappointments. We need to first embrace the person who missed their mark. Because the moment somebody disappointed me, there might be some underlying factors that makes a person to behave the wrong way that particular person behaved. So before I judge you, I must bring you back. You know, to those of us who are parents, when you beat your child, you don't allow your child, you don't beat a child while the child is at a distance. What if the child runs away, and then as she or he runs away, cross the road, there is a car that's coming speeding, and the car hits the child? You are going to regret for the rest of your life. When you beat your child, you take your child, you embrace the child, so that you have a touch together to say, I still love you, but what you did is what I don't like. So those are the things that you must do. So sometimes when people did something wrong, does not make you an angel, and you will never be an angel. And there are inner noises that everybody has. I love it in Xhosa when they say when a person is angry, but unomsindo. Msindo means noise. So they understood that when a person is angry, there is a voice, there's traffic in you. There is a lot of things that you are saying. So there are inner noises. We need to separate our challenges and try to keep them with us, not to vent out to other people. So sometimes when we have got our inner noises, we have got a tendency of taking our frustration to other people. I had a bad day at work. I come in, every child here, it's wrong. Every wife here is wrong. Everybody here is wrong except myself because I'm the... And avoid unnecessary debates. Sometimes people are not good in making confrontations. And sometimes, remember, when you confront other people, they feel, you know, that you are attacking them. So automatically they become defensive to you. And the moment you become defensive, then a violence comes in. And the one which is second to the last, walking away. Like I've already indicated, gentlemen, when you feel like there is a lot in your heart, there is a lot in your muscles, there is a lot in your thoughts, just take a walk and then you debrief what is inside you and allow other people or other parties to intervene wherever necessary. Allow the other party to process as well. Remember, if you are in conflict with me, allow me to take a reflection. Maybe when you come back, maybe I argue that what I did was right. And when you come back, I'll say, sorry about what I did. You say, why? And then the person start to say, as we were walking away, I reflected into myself. I have done what we call it an introspection. And as a result of that, this is what I found it wrong. This is what I found it right. And I think that's where we got it wrong here. And this is how I think we are going to sort out our things. So those are the things that I just wanted us to talk about today and deal with that. I understand that there are a lot of things that we are going to question or to ask one another as we proceed. Remember, we are men here. Majority of the angers, we are taking out those frustrations in our bedrooms, at our homes. And the first line that we need to correct, guys, remember the Bible says, a man will leave his parents and go and have a partnership with a wife. So this is the first person that you need to fix together as one unit. And there are so many things that might trigger that anger as we go forward. And obviously there are so many things that we are going to talk about today. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
I can samrangapan. I don't know akahle swinene. Loko ni nga tivi swakudya or magoda ya suke. A ni tivi kumbe hi ngo teka break hi dya or must we continue?